Mahmoud Abbas calls on France to step up as he rejects US as peace broker. The Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas, has said that he would no longer accept any peace plan proposed by the United States, instead calling on France and Europe to play a stronger role in peace efforts between Israel and the Palestinians. His comments on Friday came after the UN General Assembly voted overwhelmingly to denounce Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital, largely ignoring Trump's threats to cut off aid to any country that went against him. One Palestinian man was killed and another 4 were wounded on Friday, during renewed protests over Trump's Jerusalem announcement. Washington's unilateral change of policy on Jerusalem continues to reverberate in the Middle East, and European diplomats are pessimistic about the Trump administration's peace plan, which is being prepared behind closed doors and will be presented to both sides in 2018. The United States has proven to be a dishonest mediator in the peace process, and we will no longer accept any plan from it, Abbas told a joint press conference with the French President, Emmanuel Macron. Macron repeated his earlier condemnations of the U.S. decision on Jerusalem, but he also ruled out recognizing Palestine as a state unilaterally, which France has mooted previously. The Americans have marginalized themselves, and I am trying to not do the same thing, Macron said, conscious that any move to recognize Palestine would antagonize the Israelis. On Thursday, the 193-member General Assembly adopted a resolution by 128 to 9 with 35 abstentions that rejected the U.S. decision on Jerusalem. The defeat for the U.S. came despite threats from Trump and the U.S. Ambassador, Nikki Haley. Abbas hit out at efforts by the U.S. to intimidate countries ahead of the vote. I hope that the others will learn the lesson and understand that you cannot impose solutions by using money and trying to buy off countries, he added in Paris. Abbas's visit to Paris less than a fortnight after a trip here by the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, has raised speculation about whether Macron might